my butterflied prawns with chili that I'm going to be cooking on the Weber, and I'm going to give it an extra flavour bomb by serving it with garlic bread. Okay, to start I want to show you how to butterfly prawns. These ones I've done much earlier, but it's a good technique to learn. So when you get these large green prawns just like this, you want to place it on its back and show off the belly, and then get a sharp knife and just the tip of the knife cut straight down the belly without going all the way through to the other side, because you want to keep that shell intact. So turn it around and then cut again. Another way to do this is to get a sharp pair of scissors and then just tease it open from the head up, and then you can cut through the very soft flesh and shell. See how easy that is to do? Then carefully with your thumbs, you can just pop it open and flatten it out. Now you'll see that there's a little intestinal tract in the center, and we can take that out just with the tip of our knife. Again, we'll just lift it up and then you can just pull that out. Now to clean the cavity, just some paper towel and we'll just lift that out. Okay, that's how you butterfly a prawn. Now for the flavoured butter, the chili butter, we're going to start with some garlic that I'll mince. So we're just going to use a fine grater to puree it directly into the bowl and give that a tap. I'll now add half of this butter. So this is softened butter. It just makes it so much easier to stir. So make sure that you do bring it out of the fridge a couple of hours before using it. The rest of it we'll use for our bread later on, along with a generous amount of chili. I want this to have a kick to it, but you can modify this depending on your taste. Now for some lemon zest, the zest of 1 lemon, and I'll grate that again on my fine grater. Now we need to season this, some salt, freshly ground pepper, and with the back of my spoon, I'm just going to mix this so we get this pale pink colour. Okay, the chili and garlic butter for the prawns is ready to go. I'm going to put that to the side. And now I'm going to get on to the second butter, the butter for our garlic bread. In a mortar and pestle, I'll add a generous pinch of salt and the remaining cloves of garlic. And you want to crush this together so we release some of the moisture from the garlic and it'll start to become quite sticky. Because the salt is quite abrasive, it turns this into a very sticky puree. I don't want this to be chunky. Now to add some herbs to this, a little oregano, some dried oregano, and a few sprigs of parsley. Now you can use your muscles just to pound this until we have a rough paste. That smells fantastic. There's nothing better than garlic and parsley being crushed together. Now we can add the rest of that softened butter. We'll just slide that in there and then just break it down and incorporate it into the parsley and garlic. You can use a spoon here just to mix it, just ensuring that it does completely stain that butter. Wonderful. So we've got our green butter and our red butter. Look how dramatic they are against each other. For now, we don't need our green butter. We'll pop that to the side. And now we can start grilling the bread. Now I've been preheating my Weber for about 15 minutes, so it's nice and hot. For the bread, just some sourdough bread. I'll grab my serrated knife and I just want to cut about 2 centimeters thick. Cut 3. And now I'm going to place these on one side of the Weber. I don't need to oil them at all because I will be adding the butter later on. And I'll just place them on the cooking grill. And because it is so hot, we want to show off that they've been grilled on the Weber. And have a look. See that? It already starts to get some colour. So I'm going to turn that over. And then we'll just give that a few minutes. I'll grab my tongs. It's nice and toasty. and then they can come off. So that's how fast it is to get our bread grilled. I'm going to pop the lid down, place our bread onto our board, and just cover it to keep it warm. And now for the prawns. The prawns take no time at all to cook. So just with our butter, generously place a few knobs of it in the cavity and on the flesh. You don't need to spread it. You just need little knobs of butter all over the prawns. Okay, now that the Weber has reheated, let's get grilling. So we'll just lift the lid and we want to place the prawns shell side down. So the flesh is looking up into the lid. And I like to put these from head to tail. Oh, they already smell so good. These really take no time at all to cook. There's nothing worse than an overcooked prawn. So once I've placed these onto the Weber, the lid is going to go down and these are going to cook for no more than 5 minutes. With the lid down, the heat is going to circulate around the prawns, so they're going to cook evenly. When I open this Weber, you're going to see all this delicious butter bubbling away and that flesh perfectly cooked. It's going to be delicious. Okay, so I've buttered the bread with the herd butter. You can see it slowly melting into the bread. And the prawns have been cooking on the Weber Pulse for no more than 5 minutes. I can smell them. They smell delicious. So let's start to plate up. Oh, look at that. See how the little tails have curled up? And that butter is bubbling away there. Just delicious. Now with my tongs, I'll just take them off the barbecue. The best way to serve it is on a big platter, just like this, in the middle of the table. But I'm going to plate one up just to show you how amazing it looks with the contrast of colours. Look at that, so Australian. And now to plate up one, I love to place the char-grilled bread onto a plate, that melted butter exposed, and then the prawns with the shells onto the bread. We'll split this one open, pop that there. Some extra lemon, so cut that in half, and we'll squeeze that over the top. That, my friends, is a fantastic way to cook prawns. And the only way to eat this is with your hands. I like to just take the prawns, pick out the flesh, just have a taste. I love that dish.